understand that the basement sublet is coming up for auction. Ah, hello my friends, and welcome to the basement sublet of horror. I am your host, Gunther Dedmund, of course, and well, I was just typing an email there because I understand the basement sublet is going up for auction. That's right, they're going to sell off my home. I'll have nowhere to go, nowhere to show movies from. Well, anyway, in the meantime, I guess I can slip in one more movie for you. Tonight is The Atomic Brain from 1964, directed by Joseph V. Maselli, and it's going to be a really snapping, great film.
What's going on in here? What kind of hippie are you?
Who are you?
I'm the owner of the house.
They already had the auction? I thought it was next week.
Man, everybody thought it was next week. Man, I got the house and a GTO for less than $1,000, and you are getting out of here. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm evicting the whole place. That clown that does the science fiction show and the news guy, the news team, whatever he calls himself, it's everybody's. I got some stuff planned for the basement, babe. And it involves some lab equipment and stuff. And
anyway, we'll try and squeeze in one last movie.
There's going to be no more TV shows going on in here.
We'll go off to the movie. We'll go off to the movie.
Can death be outwitted? Is the secret of eternal life just around that corner? Today, medical science patches up mutilated bodies, transplanting human skin, eyes, limbs, even vital organs. Is the next step the transplantation of the human brain? Many scientists answer yes, but they pause and add a grim warning.
The first and obvious one is, be someplace else when it happens. Distance lends considerable enchantment to an A-burst.
Will ruthless men and women of great wealth and power greedily buy or steal the living bodies of the young and beautiful, so their brains may live on forever? Such questions may seem fanciful, but at this very moment, scientists are working on the answer to brain transplantation, and human bodies are used. This girl was buried in a nearby cemetery yesterday. Only a few hours ago, her body was stolen. By Dr. Otto Frank, and brought to this hidden laboratory. He has grafted a living animal's brain into this newly dead body. If the experiment works, the next step will be the transplantation of a human brain. The brain cells are being reactivated by an atomic fission produced in the cyclotron.
Radioactivity is dangerous, but to say that it's deadly, period, is as misleading as giving a flat answer to the question, how high is up?
Has he found the way to outwit death? Or has he created another?
With all radiations, nuclear and otherwise, it depends on the duration and intensity of the exposure. Nuclear radiations have their novel way of causing injury, but it's neither mysterious nor inescapable. Radioactivity, as represented by the ball, causes electrons to be ejected from their atoms. It's an offensive move based on ionization. Ionization disrupts the structure of atoms, of which all living matter is composed.
Deep below, Dr. Frank takes the chance of smashing his way into a newly sealed vault. His experiments cannot continue without another body.
Living in a scientific age, we need citizens who know enough about science to make intelligent decisions about what they do. We've used science to prolong life, to increase security and happiness. But it can also be used for destruction.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It gives a fellow a lot to think about.
When you study science, you may go on field trips. You discover the marvelous interrelationships between all living things.
Inside the vault, a body waits.
You know, Dad, this camping out's been more fun than any vacation I've ever had.
That's fine.
It surely has. I hope we can do this again next summer.
This is one of the doctor's mistakes, a monstrosity, an animal's brain grafted to a human body. Leaving the dead watchman, the monstrosity carried the girl's body out of the vault. It fears and obeys one master.
Bowling is a healthful recreation that the whole family can take part in and enjoy together.
The fact is, adventure will be just one little part of it. Right now, you and Betty will have to get ready for the other things it'll take.
Here beneath the old mansion, the doctor carefully prepared for another transplant. This body had been in the vault for only a few hours. Chances seemed better this time. Still, Dr. Frank was doubtful. Tissue in dead bodies deteriorates rapidly. Where were the live, fresh bodies he'd been promised?
The human body, which is engaged in the manufacture of an important product, life.
He bitterly resents that every step forward depends on the whim of a miserly old woman brooding upstairs in her bedroom.
Gamma rays are the most penetrating, but the least ionizing. Not so penetrating, but more ionizing, are neutrons, which are not rays, but particles. Both are able to gain entry through the eating and breathing of radioactive matter. Once inside, this so-called hot stuff takes up residence in various parts of the body, giving off highly ionizing alpha and beta particles. And how long does this radio rat race go on?
Hetty March wonders. Has she been a fool, squandering money on this strange experiment? Money hoarded through a long, greedy lifetime, each day more money, each day death getting closer. Ah, but to start life again in a brand new body, beautiful and young. No price can be too high for that.
It's like running away from cheese.
Beta particles can cause surface burns if the assault is sufficiently concentrated and sustained.
More of it, hocus pocus, Eddie.
The doctor transplanted a brain from a live dog to a dead human body. You saw the creature walk out of that cylinder alive.
How many failures since then? Still, it's your money. The bodies must be fresh.
This is Tupperware, the airtight plastic containers that keep good foods fresher, longer.
This specimen is excellent.
And the police are looking for the body snatcher.
By the local cemetery, Doctor, are you trying to blaze a trail to our door?
The final test was essential for your protection. As for the police, if they come here, I hit the switch, a nuclear reaction is set off. And in a matter of minutes, this house and any evidence it might contain becomes a radioactive hole in the ground.
Be careful.
But we can wait for that until after your operation.
Well, nothing must go wrong. There's no sign of life.
Watch. It lacks but one thing. The brain. Hans was still living when he was dragged from that red car. That's why we succeeded with the transplant.
Seems alive.
You and Betty and thousands of other young people will get down to work in the business of preparing yourselves for the life ahead. And what good prospects the life ahead holds. You will live in finer homes than your forefathers ever dreamed of. You will travel in safety at speeds that would have staggered your grandfather's imagination. You will get to know the people of your world firsthand. These may be commonplace to you.
Anita Gonzalez? Beatrice Mullins, eh?
That's right. Are you Mr. March?
She just wants to hook some guy.
I work for Mrs. March. Come along.
3 new bodies, fresh, live, young bodies. No families or friends within thousands of miles. No one to ask embarrassing questions when they disappear.
Going home. Can't we squeeze in one more day?
Oh, I'm afraid not, son. I have to be back to work on Monday.
Well, there's your new home, girls.
Gives me the shivers. Aren't there any neighbors?
No.
Are there any other servants?
No, but I don't think you're going to find it boring.
It seemed like a nice place with a real atmosphere of its own.
What a jolly little place this is. What was that?
No one's to leave this house without permission. Now, hurry along. Hurry up. Now, go.
In the approved places, where bowling is best, you'll always find a healthful, wholesome, family environment.
Put down your luggage.
Yes, Jack, the vacation will soon be over.
Turn round. Slowly. Get the doctor. Get the doctor.
I've enjoyed this as much as anybody. There's something so relaxing about being out like this.
Well, let's finish relaxing and touch it all off with a marshmallow. What do you say, Mom? You hold these and I'll see if I can get the fire going.
Well, apparently I am being evicted from the basement. I'll have to find a new place.
Hell, are you still here? Man!
Can I just finish this one last show here?
Man, I guess. I don't know. I got a whole lab coming in, you know?
Lab?
I need this basement, man.
What kind of lab?
You know what? Never you mind, hippie.
Hippie?
You know what? I got an idea. I know how you could do this better, because I've seen this show, and I know how you could do it better. I used to be an actor in high school.
Actor?
And you know what? I still got it, man. I still got it. I got the whole
actors.
thing. I can do it. I can do it. Here's what you want to do. You want to start with some vocal warm-ups.
I mean, you're saying I have to do that too?
Yeah, I want you to do it. And you know what? You know what? Or I could do the show too, because I know how to. I've done this stuff before. And you know what else? If you know, I used to be in real estate.
We're gonna take a break here, and we'll sort this out.
I was in real estate, and I had a slogan: everything he touches turns to sold. And whenever I would go out to a house to show, I would say that in the car over and over, and I'd say, everything he touches turns to sold. And I would say it a bunch of different ways, and man, that was great. I sold a lot of well, I didn't sell very many houses, but you know, it felt great.
This is the Public Access Station announcer. You're watching Public Access TV.
Hey, we're back. We are back, and I'm your new host. I'm going to let him come back in a while. I like his show.
The movie.
I like it. You know what? I want you to shut up for a second, okay, hippie? You know what? Yeah, the movie. But you know what's cool is the acting part, because I am taking care of business in a flash. So you know what? I'm going to be doing some character work on this. I'm going to be like a gangster now. You know, it's not personal, it's business.
I'm going to go start the movie.
Sonny.
I'll be back.
Fredo, it's business. Where'd he go?
Maybe you've never been in a bowling establishment before. Or perhaps you have, and it wasn't this kind of place.
I want them examined immediately.
Very well. This way.
Victor, the doctor can conduct the examination perfectly.
I think it would do you a lot of good to meet someone you can't push around.
You mean someone who pushes me around?
No.
Idiot. She's useless.
There is one more test I should make.
Do anything you want with her. The other two?
Perfect medical specimens. All right, Anita. Get dressed now and wait for the others.
Is that the reason that Jean scares so easily? Why, she's afraid of mice.
Oh, hush. Mrs. March, I am now giving you notice. I do not care to work in this house any longer. I demand that...
You have signed an agreement. If you have any objection, you will discuss them with the immigration authorities as provided for in your papers.
But, Mrs. March...
What an old spoiled sport I am. Stand up, my dear.
I've got the same measurements as Marilyn Monroe.
That's got it, gal. A mighty lovely stance.
The lucky girl.
Yeah?
Allow me to be the first to offer congratulations. To both of you.
Notice your own emotional reactions to what you've just experienced. What did you feel? What did you do? You were pleased. You drew closer to the box. You liked it.
What's in it? I'll get it off for you, Mr. Brandt.
Jean drew away from the box. That's what you generally do when you're afraid of something.
Maybe you're afraid to try to learn to bowl. It's really quite simple. Actually, every person has the makings of a good bowler. Anybody can master the fundamentals of the game and, with consistent practice, become competent at it. Check yourself on these points. Body almost erect, leaning a bit forward. Shoulders and hips square with your line of approach.
Kidneys. Who is it?
The main point is to make the approach with an easy, unhurried, rhythmic walk.
Are you sure she's not in her room?
These two regulars could use some instruction instead of trying to give it.
Yes. Victor left a little while ago. Maybe she went with him.
she didn't get out of this prison without permission, that's for sure.
The girls get together and meet their old friends and make some new ones.
But you would have said goodbye. Why should she? We only met her yesterday. I don't blame her for not wanting to sleep in the basement.
Then there's a demonstration by one of the Tupperware dealers who lives in your community.
It's funny, though. Mrs. March wouldn't even listen when I asked to be dismissed.
Now let's go to a little town in New Jersey where things are really popping. Yes, there's a party going on at Mrs. Betty Martin's house. It's a Tupperware party, and it's really fun.
What in the world do you think you're doing?
You told us last night to clean and polish in here.
Look at your hands. That will leave a stain on them. Now, don't argue. Go in and wash them immediately. You can put the things away after Nina cleans them.
There must be an easier way to learn to bowl.
Mrs. March, where is Anita?
Anita? Oh.
The development of a good follow-through is neglected by far too many bowlers.
She left last night.
I would like to give notice, too.
I will discuss it with you another time.
This is learning to bowl the hard way.
Bea, come with me. I want to show you something.
A Tupperware home party, where you can see it demonstrated and order the Tupperware you need in fresh sun, sea, and sky colors.
Anita wouldn't leave without taking her clothes. I think we'd better get out of there, fast. Bea, I'd hate to go if she's still here. You'll go now if you go with me.
This real campus seemed wonderful to me, and it was such fun being with Eve again. Naturally, she had to show me around and try to bring me up to date.
This hinge is loose. Help me.
The first principle of good bowling is a confident, comfortable grip.
Why did we act that way? I didn't want to be afraid.
Your stance must be relaxed and feel natural for you. But be precise, too. Comfortable, but not casual.
One last experiment before Dr. Frank would be ready. But this was the most critical of all the experiments. For the first time, the grafting operation would be performed on a living human body. And the brain would come from the doctor's favorite cat. Anita was ready.
Changing somebody else is practically impossible. Yet I must admit I was curious to know all about Eve, and she was more than willing to talk. I was amazed that she wasn't engaged by now. She was prettier than ever. I was just a lowly junior. I'd been out sick for a long time, and then I'd gone to junior college.
I'm here, Mrs. March. She's locked us in.
Every little experience, even the unpleasant ones, helps me know a little more about myself.
Victor! Victor!
He'd been thinking there was something wrong with him because he couldn't dance to Eve's fidgety tune.
Well, it took long enough.
The lawyer will see you in the morning. I told him you were going to change your will.
Never interfere in any way with another bowler, especially the one on the lane to your right.
You failed. She thinks she's a cat.
Nice, kitty.
I thought I'd gone too far, but now that she knew what she was doing, she could decide for herself if she wanted to change.
Well, I see you still resent the way Mrs. Marsh treats you. I can't say that I blame you. Kitty's always been very fond of me, haven't you?
Does she have all the instincts of a cat?
Watch.
The main idea is to knock down all 10 pins with one roll of your ball. Do that, and you've got a strike.
Did you ever see a mouse that acted as if he were afraid of cheese?
Afraid of cheese?
Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But watch this.
She ate it.
Are you on a diet by any chance?
Of course I am, and you should be too.
B. Is that Anita?
Where?
Oh, I don't think so.
Shoulders and hips square with your line of approach. Eyes fixed on your target. Don't charge in your approach. Just use a nice, normal walking pace.
Look out! Somebody help her.
Hey, take it easy, boy. Unhurried, remember?
Back, Hans. Back.
It doesn't have to be like this.
Hans. Hans.
Don't lose your temper. You spoil the game for others, and your own bowling suffers.
Why study science? Study science because you and Betty and the Nancys and Bills and Joes and Janes all over the country will find in the study of science a richer, more rewarding life.
I bet you could sell that online, some robot collector. Little Japanese robot. Japanese got Jesus robots telling teenage fortunes. Hello, are we back on? Man, that's cool. I love being on TV. This rocks. I didn't know when I bought this place that I was going to have my own little TV studio / laboratory. So we watching The Atomic Brain. I love that, man. I love that. I had Atomic Brain once, but it only lasted for about 12 hours, if you know what I mean. I bet you do. So it looks to me, hey, there's a brain. Here's another thing. Man, this guy, when I evict this guy, when this guy is living in a dumpster, I'm going to sell all this stuff. I'm going to get it online, man. I'm going to have enough to build 2 labs, 2, 3. Don't tell him. I'm kicking him out, you know. But I got to kick everybody out, man. This is business, not personal. It's business, you know.
Let's bowl a game and keep ourselves in trim. Watch your aim, for here is fun and everyone is in to bowl their friends. A strike! Hooray!
This is the public access station announcer again. You're watching the basement sublet of horror on the public access station.
So, that movie, The Atomic Brain, yeah. I don't know what I think about that, man. Anyway, back to the movie, and that hippie's in for a surprise when he gets back, man. Oh, yeah. I got the bat phone here. Hello, Commissioner Gordon? Okay. Right on. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this being a host. I could see this as a new direction for me. I was Curly in Oklahoma. That was in 1979, man. I rocked. All right, back to the show. All ready? Back to the show. Back to the show. See how I did that different ways? Back to the show. Back to the show.
I still think you should have locked them up.
They're not about to leave this house after what they've witnessed. They know Hans is outside there.
Even if we could get past that creature outside, there's still the electric fence. The phone's dead. Can't get help that way. If we could get the car...
Why, someone ought to take you across his knee and give you a good spanking.
That's it. Victor. Victor. He likes me, I guess. If you could get the keys from him...
It would be too much like spending time with a twin brother.
Hey. I was having a little nightcap.
I began to catch on that those forward passes could be used two ways.
Who do you think you are, pinching me?
What?
Maybe you like some company. Someone like me? That's more like it.
The push-away starts the arm swing.
Don't you like me, Victor?
Wait.
Oh, too bad. We know, not warmed up yet.
Hans is chained. Let's go outside.
Outside? I think I'd like that.
Most bowlers use the popular three-finger grip. Thumb and two middle fingers in the ball, with the other fingers comfortably spread, not bent nor curled under. In a well-fitting ball, the holes permit free and easy thumb and finger movement.
Victor! Victor!
Nothing can take the place of practice for increasing your bowling skill.
With you. Don't you know me? Anita, listen to me. It's...
Psychologically, we classify that sort of response with what we call the basic emotion of love.
Career indeed. Who ever heard of a wolf with a career?
Anita. Stay right there. Don't move. I'm coming.
And neither one of us could figure out how we'd been on the campus for 2 years without ever meeting before.
comfortable but not casual.
Anita.
A correct stance is essential to good coordination in your approach.
Anita, let me help you.
Don't be afraid to get down close to the floor in that slide.
Anita, wait. Take my hand.
Let's take the basic four-step approach. Just the footwork.
Anita. Anita.
Emotional disturbances may ruin your appetite, make you nervous, even upset your stomach.
Astonishingly complex, isn't it? The human eye.
Dr. Crane? Pete?
She's unconscious, but she'll live.
No.
Okay, let's take it again.
She's unconscious, but she'll live.
No.
Watch it in slow motion now.
She's unconscious, but she'll live.
No. Oh, Anita won't. She's dead.
Nina, dear, come along with us now. You've had a bad shock.
Get out of here, both of you. You say what be.
Is that your idea of fun? I want to be with people.
Why don't you do something for her?
I've done what I can for now. Later, an operation might be possible. I'm preserving the eye. Let me show you.
You'll see. It's fun. Come on, let's live it up a little.
Come over here. The cellular structure is being kept alive by these electrical vibrations.
You're the last person on Earth I'd expect to believe that.
Well, I use the same principle in keeping that hand alive. Dee is a very lucky girl. You think that ironical? Let me explain. I'm the only man alive today capable of restoring your friend's sight.
Now let's take a close look at our target. 10 big fat pins just asking for it.
I can't see. What? Your eyes are bandaged. Something happened. I remember now. It was Anita. She... Oh, my eye!
Better leave. Give this a chance to take effect. I'm a doctor. I'll take care of her.
I'm sure you will take excellent care of her until your plans call for something else. Or am I to be the next one, Doctor?
Be ready to bowl whenever it's your turn.
There.
You got all the clothes?
Yes.
He was really sweet and, oh, well, just nice to be with.
I'll want Nina to model these later, after I've rested. You tell her.
You wanted him to do what you told him to do. That's what you always want, Eve.
That's terrible.
They're back. I'll have to leave you now. Remember, I'm going to try to get us out of here tonight.
No. Forget about me. I won't go.
Bea, don't talk like that.
Oh, why don't you three go ahead and go without me? I'll have more fun just watching.
Mrs. March had not realized her new body had such a satisfactory shape. Perhaps not as spectacular as the English girl, but in excellent taste.
I liked her as much as ever, but I wasn't so easy to push anymore.
She couldn't help being amused. The stupid girl was not only modeling Mrs. March's future wardrobe, but Mrs. March's future body. So firm, so nicely rounded in places men like.
Hey, what kind of talk is that?
You might have knocked when you came in, Victor.
I'm sorry. Don't stuff your style show on my account.
Does my aged Lochinvar disturb you?
Hetty, that's unkind.
Shut up.
But if there was a new girl in the place, he was all eyes and smiles.
You're not needed now, Victor. Close the door quietly when you go out.
But after a few months, his popularity got annoying.
I'm not going to be needed at all. That's what you're saying, isn't it? After tomorrow, when...
If he's taken his stance, don't do anything that might distract him. Let him bowl before you proceed.
Victor! That's enough. Get out.
That's the way it's going to be when what?
Now, really, you don't think there's anything wrong with me?
Don't ask tiresome questions. That will be enough for tonight. I want us both to get some rest. Try to sleep.
But Mrs. March...
That's an order. Do as I say.
And you develop bad bowling habits in the process.
You're not looking for me, are you? Why would a pretty young girl want to be around an old man?
What did you try to tell Mrs. March?
Being comfortable and relaxed are essential to good bowling.
Victor, please tell me. Try to make sense.
I am telling you. Tomorrow you'll be one of the richest women in the world. There's a press release. It's in the mails now. To all the major news syndicates.
I don't understand.
The next press release will be March Mansion destroyed by fire. Cinderella girl, Nina Rhodes, sole survivor. Only it won't be you. It's a pity, too. You're nice the way you are.
Please don't let it happen. You could help me and Bea get away.
When you're a rich woman, you wouldn't forget an old friend. A friend who'd saved your life, would you?
Enough's enough. What say we knock it off and start all over again?
Can death be outwitted? Is the secret of eternal life just around that corner? Is the next step the transplantation of the human brain? Many scientists answer yes, but they pause and add a grim warning.
Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. You know, I got some of the lab material up in the next room already, and I tell you what, this is.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, I'm doing a show, man. You know what? You know what? You notice how much better this show is now than it's my show than when it was his? Because I mean, now it's just rock and roll and babes.
Tell you what, the previous owners had a lot of really expensive, nice antiques.
I bet they did,
and
hippie.
They have them off in the storage room, and I bet I'd really like to show you those. What do you think?
Antiques, huh?
Yeah.
Like stuff I could sell on the internet?
If you want to sell all my stuff anyway, I've got some.
I didn't say I was going to sell your stuff. Yeah, right. No, you keep your stuff right
Come
on.
with me. Let's go to the storage room.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll show you.
All right, man.
It's just spectacular. You have to.
All right, you hold tight right there. You hold on tight. I'll be right back. Taking care of business in a flash. What is this in here? Oh, holy.
On the headphones here. Hi, this is Public Access Station Channel. Anybody out there watching? Anybody?
Oh, yes. It's right down this way here. All the antiques I told you about, the valuable antiques, are right here in the storage room. And let me just let me show them to you.
Hold on there, hippie. Those are my precious antiques.
Of course. Just go right ahead. Right on in there. Just go right on in.
Dark in here. Help!
Well, I guess things have changed here. I guess we won't have the same outcome as before, and apparently the basement sublet will continue. Well, you go off to the end of the movie.
Say, we came here to learn about emotions, not play children's games.
He thinks he's tough. I can't stand the sight of him.
You're sure about that, Eve?
Well, here's what happened last week.
And swing it like an easy-going pendulum. The Bowler's Lament, a sad, sad song indeed.
Did you want something from Victor, dear? Sit down, my dear. I'm afraid you're wearing yourself out with all this rushing round. I don't like that.
I wondered why Eve and I seemed different now, and I ended up by deciding that she was still the same attractive Eve, full of life, but a little self-centered and a little apt to push people around.
You realize she's mad, don't you, Dr. Frank?
Relax.
Hurry, Doctor.
No other towel is made like Bounty.
I'll be ready for you shortly, Mrs. March.
I'll be waiting. It's finally about to happen.
Nothing can top the excitement and satisfaction of being a regular.
Why did you kill Victor, Mrs. March?
Victor? Victor was a fool.
He was cute, she said, and really romantic.
I've never been a very practical person. I suppose that makes me a fool, too, in your eyes.
Of course not.
Relax, Mrs. March. Just relax. Relax.
Go ahead, pop it.
It even sounds strong.
And because you can see what's inside, no more forgotten leftovers. Just good, fresh planovers.
Waking up, are you? Good. I want to talk to you. You're a very wealthy woman now, Nina. What I must decide is how to keep you and your funds available with the least amount of nuisance to myself. I could keep you under sedation until your signature was required. Or I could replace your brain with one more amenable.
What about Mrs. March, Doctor?
Mrs. March no longer has a thing to say. Do you, my dear? Completely recovered, I'd say. How do you feel?
This is pretty clever.
I guess a transplant would be better. It won't hurt.
Hear that? That's Tupperware's airtight promise to keep foods flavor fresh.
The key to good bowling is timing, the coordination of footwork and arm swing in the approach and delivery.
So salads keep their, and gelatin desserts keep their. Since Tupperware can't spill or leak, you can store it any which way.
You keep your eye fixed on the pins and aim directly at them. It's natural to look and aim at the object one's trying to hit.
Through ionizing radiation, the gears grind, the machines falter and stop. The factory shuts down.
When you take your ball from the return rack, put your palms on the exposed sides and lift up. Any other way, you risk getting your fingers painfully pinched.
The best shelters, then, against the gamma and neutron bombardment released by an atomic explosion are strong, reinforced structures.
Mrs. March did not intend to let her money get out of sight. She would follow that girl. Sometime, someplace, revenge would come.
Atomic warfare, for instance, might allow little choice in the matter. So if you can't stay away from it, you must stay with it, as safely as possible and properly protected.
Everyone can enjoy the rich satisfactions that bowling offers. It's a friendly, family sport that anybody can fit into. Bowling gives you all the benefits of consistent, healthful exercise without strain, so you can enjoy it all the years of your life.
A rather dramatic turn there, don't you think? Unfortunately, I forgot to tell my new landlord about that open exposed shaft that goes down to the missile silo. Well, missile silo, you say? What was that? Well, you should watch a previous episode. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a fan, a true fan, you would know what I'm saying. Oh, and by the way, I found the deed to the basement sublet, so apparently I will not have to leave after all. I'll be back next week, again, not evicted, with another movie for you on the basement sublet of horror, returning to its original format. And until then, good night, my friends.
All right, let's hear it for Sublet.
And it would help if the camera was rolling. And it is. These expensive sets, you know.